Well, Stephen, we heard earlier from Amathole councillor Nanziwe Rulashe. This was about the ordeal that she had to endure yesterday. Let's get you more reaction to that story. The Eastern Cape's Cogta MEC, Xolile Nqatha, joins us on the line. MEC Nqatha, thanks for your time tonight. It's absolutely horrific that something like this can happen in the buildings of a municipality such as the Amathole municipality. What are you, as the local monitoring agency through Cogta, what do you have to say about this?
Thanks. Good evening to you, Kathy, and your viewers. I wish to express our total shock and pain by this unfortunate incident. And take this opportunity to condemn with the strongest possible words that you can find. We are really engulfed with, shock and pain. This should not happen to any human being, in private or in public. I also wish to take this opportunity to apologize to Councillor Rulashe for this dehumanizing act which has occurred against her. And I've since written to the Troika of the municipality, the executive mayor, the speaker, and the chief whip, requesting them to submit a report to me on what steps they are going to take to ensure that whoever is available is responsible, is held accountable, and there are consequences. They have had a meeting this morning, and they are going to be giving me the report, but already I've spoken with the executive mayor. They have had a meeting this morning, and they have directed that the municipal manager must submit a report to them before the end of business today, and that the head of security, who's shown in the clip, has been also directed to also ensure that she is immediately suspended. And that the councillors that were present, including Honorable Rulashe and Honorable Nqatha, they've been requested to submit reports to the executive mayor. And it is only after the submission of all these reports, particularly that by the municipal manager, that they will provide me with the report before the end of this week.
Yeah.
I'll then decide from there, after evaluating this report, about the next steps to be taken.
Mr. Nqatha, does it make sense to have the municipal manager be the person that is responsible for putting this report together when he is so heavily implicated in what happened? These individuals were unequivocal in that they were sent by the municipal manager. Ms. Rulashe herself also believes that those, that those statements made by them should not be ignored, nor should they be taken lightly. Why is he investigating himself?
Well, I wouldn't want to comment further, Kate, on this matter, because in the final list, I'm the one who must evaluate whatever report I get and then take the necessary steps. So I don't want to prejudge. And if due process demands that one must present their side in terms of the report that he must submit, not investigation in this instance, but the leadership said he must submit a report of what has happened, putting his side as is also alleged, and then they will give me a report of what they think. I will evaluate that which they will submit to me, and then make a determination and assess whether some of the actions they have taken were appropriate or not appropriate.
Mr. Nqatha,
it's important that I afford them an opportunity because they are a leadership in that sphere of government.
If I was listening to you correctly, a number of the reports, particularly those that have to do with the security company and those of the councillors, you said were going to be submitted to the municipal manager, who would then consolidate a report. That's what it sounded like to me.
No, the report will be submitted. All of them will submit reports to the executive mayor. And the mayor will then submit to me a consolidated report, which I will evaluate and decide the next course of action.
So effectively, they're going to give statements then to the municipal, to the mayor who will consolidate a report for you?
Yes.
Should the municipal manager still be in his position today? Again, when we look at what has happened, Ms. Rulashe very much believes that he was not only behind this, but she fears for her life, she fears for her safety, and what will become of her.
Yeah, she is justified to feel the way she feels, Kathy, and I fully understand her. And that is why I've taken upon myself to give her a call so that I can express my support, to her, and also give an undertaking that in this instance we are not neutral. We are on the side of the victims, and therefore will ensure that justice is done. And that, she must also submit a report. She has given me a report already, having spoken to her only, about 4 hours ago.
Do you think it's justified that the municipal manager is still on the work? Nothing is lost out of suspending him while an investigation is carried out. And if, in fact, he is guilty of what he has been implicated in, the consequences of that could be far larger.
Yeah, I'm losing part of what you're saying, but I did get the first part as to why the municipal manager is still at work. That is why those are some of the areas, Katie, I wouldn't want to venture in those areas to express my view. I have got a view, but I would want to first get a report and then based on that make a determination as to what the next course of action is going to be.
But do you think it's justified? Is it the right thing to happen under the circumstances? You said not so long ago that on this case, you are on the side of the victim. As somebody who says you are on the side of the victim, is it justified that he's still at work?
Yeah, in the first instance, nothing can justify, what has happened against, Councillor Rulashe. It cannot be justified under any circumstances. And therefore, that's why I would want to make an assessment so that if I arrive at the same position when it relates to the MM, and then I'll put that point to the leadership why they are not taking any certain steps. So it's important that we safeguard, due processes, because if you make blunders in the process of answering to the media, you're likely to make mistakes which can give away, some form of defense, any who is alleged to have done something wrong. So we must be cautiously in attending to some of these issues.
Xolile Nqatha, let's leave it there for tonight. Is the Eastern Cape Cogta MEC. Plenty more to still come out of the story within the coming days.